recording studio, Inferno, that's part of the Chicago Park District. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the tools and techniques that I've used and other teachers have used to help kids learn about composition and audio engineering. So, today we're going to talk about the looper and we're going to talk about having some preset beats. So, I like to have just a pre created drum beat that kids can listen to if they want to, for example, use the microphone or play a melodic instrument, just to help them have something playing in the background as they get to know these tools for the first time. And in my Atom kit, I've created some MIDI beats. In the scenes view, I've set it up so that our first scene here will automatically follow to play the next clip or scene uh, as soon as it's done. And I like this in this situation because I could certainly just plop down however long I think the track is going to be, the drum pattern that I've created. But why not use this tool in Ableton so that I can record the drum pattern while the kids are using the looper and using the microphone? That way, it'll maybe make it a little bit easier for me in post production. So I've got my first one that'll automatically play the next line as soon as it's done. And I've got down here my last clip. Let's talk about the looper now. I've got my looper tool set up in my first audio lane here, and the looper tool is great. A lot of times we're helping kids learn about composition by pointing out that rhythms or melodies are repeated over the course of the song, and that repetition helps people develop a sense of familiarity and get more into the song more quickly. So the looper is our first tool that we're going to use to do that, to start using the microphone and feel more relaxed using the microphone. It also enables us to experience some of the audio effects that are available in live. And I'm going to act as the producer while the student or the kid is using the microphone, experimenting with their voice. I'm going to be editing the effects that are being used by the looper to give them the experience of hearing those effects with their voice. So, some of the ones that I like to use are the speed effect. If I quickly want to have a kid's voice go down an octave, I can type in -12, type 0 to go back to regular. I want to go up an octave, just type in +12. It's in halftones. Of course, I can just take this speed control and whip it around to create wonderfully uh, changing tone effects. But it's useful to know as well that I can go back to 0 as soon as I want. The reverse effect is nice. I also really like these buttons here on the looper, the divide and the multiply. So if I want to make the section that's repeated go become smaller and smaller, I just keep clicking the divide button. And same if I want to double it and make it larger and larger, I click the multiple button. The feedback is normally set at 100 on the looper, but I'm going to set it at 80. And this can also be useful to have the sound fade out. Other things that are important to do before you work with kids are to set the record bars. You can have it set to be variable length, but I like to just do 2 bars because then that can be helpful. I want it to I want the looper to follow the song tempo and not impose its BPM onto the song. I've got my song tempo set at 75, nice and laid back. Anything else here? Maybe we'll get into the rest of it. Oh, so if I record this right now, I've got my pre-programmed beats and my looper. If I were to record this, what would record would be the dry audio, unaffected by the looper. And I want to record the wet audio been that has the effects on it. So next to my looper channel, I have the audio from looper. I named this lane, and the audio from here is receiving audio from the looper. I've got the monitor turned off because I don't need to hear that in addition to what I'll be hearing from the looper channel. And this way, I'll record the wet audio in addition to my drum beat. And in most instances, if I was publishing the final result or editing it, uh, this would be what I would use, the wet audio that's got the cool effects that we're experiencing. So let's try this out. I'm going to arm our recording and then let it fly. So it's going to sound a little weird, but here we go. Turn this monitor on, leave that on. I'm going to press command and then arm this one and arm this as well. And let's go with here. And I'm going to record this in the session because everything's going to start at the same area. It will make it easier for me to edit later when I'm trying to put it all together, take the best excerpts from our session, our lesson, and then share that with the students online. So let's do this here. I can turn this monitor off. Oh, that's already turned off. Great. Let's turn on our metronome. So that's it. Okay. So we recorded our different drum tracks. We did our recording for our looper. Let's check it out. Here we've got, I can clear the looper now. We've got we're going to go to session view instead of scene view. And we've got all the tracks started recording at the same place. We've got our drum tracks recorded. I was, of course, singing and paying attention to the looper. So if I was producing this track, I might vary some of the drum loops that are in here. Um, but I am also using this drum loop just to have something to help kids feel more comfortable and part of a music ensemble. Of course, I would want to help them also use the MIDI sampler and create their own drum loops. Let's listen to what we've created here. So I'm going to disarm the recordings and I'm going to solo my audio from Looper. There we've got our affected audio, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want to have the wet audio right here. For example, let's take a look at what our looper recorded. So if I didn't have this set up, what would I have recorded? Just my plain voice. And I like the way that I sound when I sing. But I also really like to hear the effects that we were creating and enjoying. And most of the time, that's what kids expect to hear in their recordings after working on their composition. So that's it. I hope you find this video useful. We'll include other recommendations based on their experience working, teaching composition using Ableton and MIDI, and look for more videos with more tips and tricks. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the teachers at the Inferno Mobile Recording Studio, and I'll see you next time. Bye.